Alrighty, guys, it is 3:30 this Friday, July 24th. Time to wrap it up and almost on a cue here at the 2 o'clock hour. We got that weakness. I didn't see it until a few minutes ago, but I was stuck busy doing some other stuff. But look at that rundown here, right at 2 o'clock here, sell off, boom, all the way down. Nasdaq went from the mean all the way to the initial balance low and then some. That's running the low, running the stop below the obvious. This point is a key moment of truth on both the ES and the Nasdaq. Are they going to blow through this and make new lows, or are we going to see a little bit of a snapback here? It's anyone's guess, but the way it's been going today, I'm almost leaning towards the short side of this. That's going to be trying to take this lower. So pretty ugly. Looking at the ES in the capital flow perspective, not a big deal really on the ES. That's still ways to go before the 73.50. So they are down in this lower range. So the ES is a lot more range bound, not as crazy. Nasdaq though, that's where the punishment is happening. Look at that thing. Look at that thing go. So we are right off at 30,500 until 28,500. So we are like 2,000 some points on the down to 2,500 points to the downside. And we are down in this territory now. It can get really ugly. So we'll see. They're down here probing this area. I'm going to mark this because it's a little area of resistance right there. You see that little area right here? It's not really a volume edge here, but you have it a couple of levels which has been converging there, or a couple of days which has been stalling in that area. But I'm telling you, this says that the makings of getting pretty ugly. So either this is like, yeah, we ran it down here, we shook out a bunch of people, we scared the bejesus out of them, and now we are ready to take it back up again, or this is the beginning of a little bit more of weakness. Now, earnings season, this is all about the earnings coming out, I believe, from the Google and Tesla. They were not as strong as they expected. It was not that bad. It's just a little bit like they're still investing like crazy and they're not seeing the cash flows are getting a little bit strained, and that's really getting the market all freaked out. Probably also the Iranian situation going into the weekend. There's talk about some major action going on there. So we'll see how the weekend shakes out and what's going to happen. But I would say that we are starting off this from the short side. They're going to have to retrace it pretty darn hard for me to want to say that we're going to start this from a range bound. But I will if they take out the mean here and before they close and start and close above the volume weighted mean and the initial balance high on the ES. I'm going to be starting off range bound. Otherwise, I'm staying on the short side. Same story with the Nasdaq. The mean, if they can get up above that 28,500s, it's going to be up this guy up at this area. If you can get up above that into yesterday's day session, well, maybe we have a shot at seeing a little bit more of a range bound start going into the next week. But it doesn't look too good. I'm telling you, this looks pretty ugly to me. So it is very tradable though. This afternoon has been very tradable. I just totally missed out because I've been my head down and doing some other stuff. And I need to record. Just so you know, I need to re-record all the freaking videos. Okay, they're a little bit dated. The platform has changed a bit. The website, the sign-up process has changed. And if you haven't seen it, since you haven't signed up for a while, but the sign-up process is a little bit different now. So a little bit easier, and it should be hopefully that being more attractive to get some more business going here. But anyways, I need to redo videos, and that's a tedious thing to get that set up and going. So that's what I've been working on. Looking at the bond market is back here towards the starting point and where we broke out this morning. So back to the mean pretty much. They took a nice little leg higher, a nice little run up here. I thought it was actually going to stay sideways here going into the close, but that little retracement downside, that came out of nowhere. Surprising. That could have been a nice potential trade now. I would probably not have been able to get in on it, given that the highs here at the at 10:04s did not have an unfinished auction, so I could not get filled up there. But another fill down there, a little bit less of a give up a tick or two in trade location would have been doable. I didn't expect this to happen, though. So when it starts drifting lower here, it's happening in slow motion. So either you're in on that trade expecting some kind of retracement, or you're going to be left behind. So it didn't take any trade there, so no trades on the bonds. No trades on the cryptos either. Just so you can see what's happening on those guys. The cryptos, interesting stuff. The silver is heading lower. They've been backing off a bit to the mean. Gold also were up quite a bit. They're backing off to the 4050s. Oil is trading at 89, traded back up again. They were down here at the 87, now they're back up to 89. Probably because concerned about the weekend. You see what's going to happen. Bitcoin, Ethereum just kind of sideways. That's all. Those two are all hinging on that legislation getting through. So you're getting to a point here where the Senate needs to get their act together and get that legislation going. Otherwise, probably crypto is going to be in the doldrums for a bit longer. All right, back to the ES and the Nasdaq this Friday, and let's see where we end up. So far, the looks like they're trying to retrace, but I'm not sold on it. I'm thinking that they're going to run that lower and try to push this down into the lows here going into the close. So I'll be closing the room a little bit early. I need to head out, so I'm going to be closing it right at 4 o'clock, or yeah, 4 o'clock in about half hour. So you know, but we'll wrap it here for now. So just one trade for me this morning. That was the I tried to get long here on that first rotation down, trying to get long, but this was too crazy, and I did not want to push it because I mean you can with this kind of range in this little area, you can easily get yourself into a pretty big loser if you're wrong. And even if you're right with bad trade location, you can keep getting shaken out. So I got in on that one, got lucky on that. They took it a little bit lower, so I had to fade some heat, and I got to break even. It took me out, and that next bar down there would have probably hit my stop. So a little bit lucky on that one. So I figured like, okay. And then when it started running it up, it's like, oh man, now you have to chase it because there was no obvious spot unless you wanted to buy a high on that retracement. But that was the only trade I took. So basically a shake out on that one as the buck. All right, guys. We'll wrap it there. Have a great weekend. I'll see you back at on Monday, bright and early, and then we'll take it from there. All right, guys, later.